Right now at noon, Chicago city officials are upset after prosecutors dropped charges against actor Jussie Smollett. And transportation officials are being questioned by lawmakers concerning Boeing's grounded 737 MAX jets.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in just a bit. But first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. That wind a little brisk this morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a breezy day out there. Those winds starting to really pick up out of the south as well. But that's warming or bringing in those warming temperatures as we go through the rest of today. The temperature right now, 48 degrees, and we still do have a strong wind out of the south and southwest. Temperatures are already starting to approach the middle and upper 50s in parts of the state. Boscobel at 56 right now, Lone Rock at 54. Get this, the 48 in Madison, that's what we had for our highs yesterday. So we are certainly going to go ahead and exceed that as we push further into the afternoon. Temperatures anywhere from about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than they were at this time yesterday, especially for western and central parts of Wisconsin. But hear those wind, folks. They are rocking and rolling out of the south. Sustained winds at 16 miles per hour in town. Elsewhere, Platteville has sustained winds at 21 miles per hour. Dubuque sustained winds near 23 miles per hour, and they'll be working their way upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour today with some stronger gusts. Given that, do expect those highs to be right around 60 degrees or so. The only thing that might prevent that is the fact that this cloud cover has been just a little bit on the pesky side, but even still, more cloud cover will increase overnight tonight. That's going to keep lows close to 50 degrees into tomorrow morning.
Well, that should take care of the snow piled by my house.
Yeah, if it doesn't, then you really have just a trooper of a snow pile. But things are going to be warm.
All right, we'll check back in a few minutes, Chris. Thank you. The man charged with kidnapping a 13-year-old Wisconsin girl and killing her parents expected to enter a formal plea in court today. We have this video from Jake Patterson's last court appearance. He wrote a letter to a television station in Minneapolis saying he intends to plead guilty. He's accused of kidnapping Jamie Kloss after killing her parents last fall at their home in Barron, Wisconsin. Police say Jamie was held against her will at a cabin for nearly 3 months before escaping in January. Police are raising funds for a child who was directly affected by the deadly shooting in Beaver Dam. Stacey Hollinshead was shot and killed on Saturday. Police say her ex-husband has been charged with homicide. In the fundraiser, police say a child was caught in the middle of a tragic situation. Officials hope the community will help support the child. The custodian of the account is the Beaver Dam Police Charity, and all funds raised will benefit the child. There are several ways to donate. Just head to channel3000.com for more information. A federal ban on bump stocks is officially in effect today all across the country. The new ban went in place yesterday. Anyone who owns them are asked to turn them in or destroy any they may still have. Bump stocks allow a weapon to fire hundreds of rounds per minute. The devices came under scrutiny after the October 2017 massacre in Las Vegas, where 58 people were killed by a shooter using rifles fitted with bump stocks. While several groups have challenged the ban in court, it is in full effect. The sudden decision to drop all criminal charges against Jussie Smollett is bringing angry reaction and raising major legal questions. Chicago Police Union wants the Justice Department to investigate. Adriana Diaz has more.
Mr. Smollett is still saying that he is innocent, still running down the Chicago Police Department. How dare him?
Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel could barely contain his outrage at the decision to drop charges against actor Jussie Smollett.
This sends an unambiguous message that there is no accountability, and that is wrong.
Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says his department was blindsided.
It's Mr. Smollett who committed this hoax, period. If he wanted to clear his name, the way to do that was in a court of law so that everyone could see the evidence.
Smollett's attorneys said his record was wiped clean of the 16 felony counts of disorderly conduct, each punishable by up to 3 years in prison. The actor remained unapologetic while maintaining his innocence.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one.
Prosecutors accused Smollett of lying to police about being attacked in the middle of the night by two white men who shouted racist and homophobic slurs. But it was these two brothers who admitted under oath that Smollett paid them to do it.
I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of.
Investigators have said the 36-year-old, who's openly gay, made the report to get publicity in hopes of gaining a larger salary on the TV drama Empire. State prosecutor Joe Magatz is the person who made the decision to drop the charges. He believes Smollett made up the allegations, but says the nonviolent case qualifies for community service and a financial penalty, which he says is common practice.
So you believe he's guilty?
Yes.
So why drop the charges?
Our priority is violent crimes and the drivers of violence. Jesse Smollett is neither one of those.
And is community service and $10,000 enough to wipe this clean?
I feel that it is.
CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman calls the latest twist beyond unusual.
You would think that you would have restitution here. You would admit guilt. You would do an apology to the entire city of Chicago. None of that happened here.
Lawyers for the city of Chicago are now trying to determine if they can legally release evidence in the investigation, despite the judge sealing the case. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Chicago.
And Smollett's legal troubles are not over. The FBI is still investigating a threatening letter the actor allegedly sent to himself in January. Transportation regulators are being questioned about the troubled Boeing 737 MAX during hearings on Capitol Hill today. The MAX 8 fleet has been grounded until further notice while Boeing makes changes to the MCAS, that is the anti-stall system. It's believed that system caused the Lion Air crash. The Ethiopian crash is still under investigation. Several members of the Senate's Transportation and Safety Committee sent Boeing a letter expressing concern over its practice of charging airlines extra for critical safety systems. Boeing officials are meeting with several hundred pilots from around the world at their headquarters today to give them a show and tell on the software changes to the MAX fleet. 16 counties across the state are still dealing with flood damage, costing those governments an estimated $2 million. But for some people living in Adams County, standing water is nothing new. Neighbors in the Big Flat Township have been slowly abandoning their homes after years of flooding issues. They say it started after a pipeline construction project 3 years ago, and the few people still there are in a bind as the county has not been declared a federal emergency zone and it's not a floodplain. That means those residents don't qualify for federal assistance and can't bill their insurance companies. Roy Bragg is now running pumps to help manage the water on his property since March 15th.
I wanted a little bit of the American dream and had a short walk to my job and loved my shop and I got this. So it's actually turned into an American nightmare.
Bragg owned a business there for 7 years but closed it, saying it's hard to get customers in when it's always flooded. And the stream running through his yard now, he says he occasionally sees trout swimming in it. Across the Midwest, more than 1 million private wells might face the risk of contamination from recent and ongoing floodwaters, especially in rural areas. That poses a threat to drinking water supplied by those wells, as the high water and swift current carries things like raw sewage from overburdened treatment plants. The National Groundwater Association says there are 1.1 million private wells in 300 flooded counties across 10 states. A new report shows that Sata Rose Conway has raised more money in the race for Madison's next mayor than incumbent Paul Soglin. The State Journal reports in the latest fundraising period from February 5th through March 18th, Rhodes Conway raised almost $126,000, while Mayor Soglin had $77,000. As far as overall fundraising, from July 1st until now, Rhodes Conway has raised $210,000 compared to Soglin's $189,000. The spring election is next Tuesday. Well, after 10 seasons in the NFL, Jordy Nelson is retiring. This is according to former Packer James Jones. He's now at the NFL Network. Nelson spent 10 seasons with the Packers before becoming an Oakland Raider in his last season. In the 2010-2011 season, he helped the Packers win Super Bowl 45 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what's happening in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Planning on binge watching some TV this weekend? We've got just the thing for you to snack on while you do. It's comfort at its best. One of my favorite things to do after a long, busy week is to curl up on the couch and catch up on the shows that I missed, or watch a bunch of classic movies back to back. Of course, no good TV binge would be complete without a fun-to-eat snack mix, like the one we're making today. We start by combining some toasted corn cereal with mini pretzels, dried cranberries, and chocolate-coated candies. After giving them a toss, we set them aside while we melt some almond bark in the microwave. It melts quickly, so keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. Now, we pour this over our cereal mixture and toss it one more time until it's coated well. To give this a fun out-of-the-box twist, we sprinkle it with a mixture of dry white cake mix and powdered sugar. Now onto a baking sheet it goes. Once it sets up, fill up a bowl and head to the couch. It may sound simple, but the combo of the sweet and salty, plus all the different textures, really brings this to life. It's so good, you may want to make a double batch. To get the recipe for our Munchin' Crunchin' snack mix, just visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a munchable way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Hope you can get outside for a little while today. We'll see temperatures close to 60, but rain is in our future. Chris Reese talks about our chances next in the First Alert Forecast. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. You can call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials down 139 points. The NASDAQ and S&P 500 also in the negative territory. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee is out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Pam will be back tomorrow. Chris Reese is here right now, though, with our afternoon forecast. Hi, Chris.
Good afternoon, Mark. I think the big story is the warmth that we are seeing here across much of south central Wisconsin. In fact, we are looking at temperatures that are really starting to warm up as opposed to where they were at this time yesterday. In fact, in Madison right now, we're 5 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. You work your way across the western tier of the state, and you will find that most areas are anywhere from 5 to 10, perhaps even 11 degrees this afternoon than they were yesterday afternoon. We've seen that warmth pretty much all morning. In fact, we're already at where we saw our highs yesterday. The temperature in Madison, 48 at the airport, but 50s are showing up all around us. I mean, the Dells at 53, Lone Rock at 54, Boscobel at 56 degrees, and Black River Falls already at 58. So we're seeing that warmth moving into the picture. Just give it a little bit of time for the airport to respond. Part of why it's a little cooler is we do have some stubborn cloud cover out there, but I still do think those temperatures are going to take a run at 60 as we go through the afternoon. Some more sunshine filters in here, and winds continue out of the south and southwest at 16 miles per hour. So look for those temperatures to continue to climb and then stay steady as we begin to move into the overnight and evening hours. It's high pressure that's still in control for us, folks. That's keeping us dry. It may not be as sunny, but we are staying dry. This regional low pressure has been a little aggressive with some of the cloud cover that it has sent into town. But nonetheless, that strong southerly flow is pumping in the warmth to town, folks. Now, eventually, cloud cover will increase again tonight and especially into Thursday. That's as this cold front starts to work its way on in here. We'll clear out a little bit behind that cold front, but we're also going to pay attention to the next region of low pressure that is going to be developing and then tracking along that cold front. So how far south this front settles will actually determine how much rain we see as we go through the weekend, along with the possibility of some snow. In fact, a stronger low would really mean snow chances around here. But I'll tell you what, the trend lately has been for a weaker low that goes a little bit farther south, allowing that front to push a little bit farther to the south as well. That would actually eliminate snow chances for us and really just keep things rather cloudy as we go through the weekend. That would take away some of those heavier rain chances as well. Again, throughout the rest of the afternoon, temperatures topping out around 60. We'll stay in the upper 50s as we go through the evening. So if you want to have dinner outside, I think tonight is going to be that night. Once we get later on towards the evening, especially south of Madison, right along the Illinois border, there are signs that there may be just enough of a disturbance coming in to touch off a shower or two, but that'll quickly move out of here. We're going to keep those temperatures into the 50s overnight as well. Here comes that front, but even still into tomorrow, we will keep those temperatures for highs approaching the upper 50s. Again, I just want to highlight the weekend system. Yesterday, the same model showed a full-blown winter storm around here. Notice how much farther south it is, but you see extreme southeastern Wisconsin where it's picking up on the cold and that possibility of a few wet snowflakes. We're going to watch that. Hopefully it continues to keep that southerly trend and maybe even enough for some sunshine to end the weekend. I know that's what we would all like to see, but wherever that heavy rain sets up, it's going to come down and give a nice drink of water for some folks. We're talking more than an inch of rain just to our south. So it is a system to truly be watched, bringing down the rain chances for the weekend, though. That's good news. However, temperatures are going to be staying on the colder side. The farther south that trends, the colder we will actually have to keep your Saturday forecast.
Every dry day around here is a good day.
That is true. Of course, we need those dry days, and there are more of those next week as well.
All right, that's good. All right, Chris, thank you. We'll be right back. Traditional books versus electronic books. What's the best way to read to a toddler? Chris Martinez has the results of a new study that looks at the differences.
What is that?
Mommy like that one.
I do like that one. Okay.
2.5-year-old George can't get enough story time with Mom.
What's a duck say?
While George's mom, Mary, owns a tablet, her daily reading ritual with her son only includes traditional printed books.
I think it's fun for them to hold them. It's fun for them to turn the pages. They can point things out. And then he can go pick them out for me, too, and bring them to me.
A new study in the journal Pediatrics finds real books have an advantage over electronic books when it comes to creating quality interactions. Researchers found parents and toddlers talked more and had more collaboration, like turning pages and holding the book when reading printed books together. When using electronic books, toddlers were more focused on tapping or swiping on the device instead of focusing on the story.
And so you really want to make sure that you're not just reading the words, but making this an experience.
Dr. Corinne Cross says that parent-child interaction is critical for helping children develop and improve their reading and language skills. She has this advice for parents using ebooks.
Turn off the things that when you tap the dog, it barks, so that the child can focus on the story. And then you're also going to have to put a little bit of extra legwork in to make sure that you embellish and engage in the dialogue as you would a regular book.
That was a really good book. Thanks for reading that.
Mary says she cherishes story time with George.
I just think there's something so special about a real book, especially for kids.
She hopes it fosters a love of reading he'll carry the rest of his life. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Pacific Palisades, California.
And pediatricians recommend parents read to their children from the very beginning of life because it can help with their cognitive and emotional development. Interesting study. All right, Chris, buy the book in the weather department.
Yep, still more sunshine out there today. It's still going to be filtered through that cloud cover that I know has been stubborn for a lot of folks, but I still do think highs will make it into the upper 50s and low 60s for most of us. We're watching the rain chance for the weekend, but the chances of rain are actually going down. It's looking like we may trend a little bit drier, more sunshine early next week.
That is good news. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.